Well, I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by Captain Aliu Umar retired to look at the resurgence of attacks by Boko Haram in Nigeria's northeast. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10 at this time. What do you think is the reason for this new wave of attacks, a resurgence of Boko Haram that was thought to have been defeated completely?
First and foremost, let me condole with the families of the deceased and also congratulate channels all at once. Okay?
Thanks.
Now, so to your question, tomorrow is Maulud al-Nabi, the Prophet's birthday. We know the kind of people Boko Haram are, so this could be actually their own birthday gift. Ordinarily, having profiled them, I would have expected a situation where security operatives will stand to 48 hours to any major religious event. And having said that, I would also say Madagali is not new to Boko Haram attacks. Neither is the Monday market. I recall some years back, markets, girls, as in young girls, bomb couriers were recurrent decimals in this terrorism business. And I recalled when Terminus happened in Jos and the Park and the other market in Abuja, Yanya, I recalled asking if there was actually any will to profile a blueprint, a security counter and anti-terrorism blueprint that should be able to address any gathering of more than 500 people at any location, particularly markets. I don't think that is happening. You see, the military, the police, the law enforcement agencies can do so much. But at a certain level again, the civilian populace, people, citizens, also have to do so much. Our markets need to get organized.
Is there a correlation, do you think, between the release of the Chibok girls and then before there was set to be a trade of some Boko Haram captains that were released? Is there a correlation between that and what is happening now?
There may be, but I doubt if there is. I'll tell you why. Except, of course, we tend to have this very unique, unusual approach to things. In the global scenario, terrorists that have been traded back in just like benched footballers. He's useless. That is, I'm assuming our law enforcement agencies have done what should be done. If you went to a place like Guantanamo and took a terrorist, like the ones that were exchanged for Sergeant Bagdal, even if he drops a sweat anywhere on the planet, the Americans will know because everything about him is already codified. So he couldn't possibly, he's not useful. Okay? So that may be the case, that may not be the case, because with us, there is no certainty. But what I can tell you is, at this moment, the armed forces, the sister law enforcement agencies have all brought us to stabilization at the moment in Maiduguri and the Northeast. Post-stabilization, what will everyone do about this? Let me hit the nail on the head. How many of those markets have a chief security officer?
So the government should be looking towards instituting chief security officers, or the market authorities should do that?
The government has really no hand in this. It's up to the market people to do that. You see, protecting those markets has to be all-inclusive. What the government can do probably to prompt them to action is probably to slam a red alert on that market for 3 months. Then you get what I'm talking about. A lot of money changes hands there. Chief security officers, lead consults can come in and help you do what needs to be done to secure your market. What the markets don't want to do right now is to get organized. But I tell you, a lot of money, if you know how many unions are in there, for example, you'll understand what I'm saying. And you see, if you make it all inclusive, take a typical example of a market where the police comes to say, look, we have a yellow or an orange alert on that market. You go there at your own risk. By the time the shop owners who pay millions per annum for a shop there begin to see a fall in patronage, they're going to breathe down the CSO's neck to do what needs to be done to secure that market.
I want to thank you so much indeed, Captain Aliu Umar, for talking to us at the News at 10, retired, of course, on the resurgence of attacks in Nigeria's northeast.
You're welcome.